Bang.
Bang. Welcome back, folks. I'm Jon Najarian. We've got CJ and Monty ready to fill your head with some great crypto knowledge. And we've got Elon still both, like we said yesterday, live by the Elon, die by the Elon. And now he's trying to pump up Doge again. So after he famously yesterday talked about that, apparently Elon discovered for the first time in his life that maybe there was a lot of energy consumption in mining operations. I'll have some video for everybody Monday of that, because it's just the craziest thing, guys. I mean,
it is crazy. CJ, yeah. I think you made a great point about, maybe a possible disconnect between Elon and the board members of Tesla. You want to talk about that?
For me, myself, do you want me to talk about
that? I was saying CJ, sorry.
Oh, CJ, sorry.
Yeah, I mean, it didn't seem totally well thought out, because, people say like, oh, he's being pressured by regulators now, or things like that, or all types of different speculation. And then people say, oh, Elon's trying to pump Doge, he's trying to prime it. But that tweet last night saying, oh, we're working with Dogecoin developers to improve, energy, promising. The market took that to be completely serious, and Doge pumped, I think, over 25%. Never mind the fact that there hasn't been a Dogecoin commit in over like 2 or 3 years. So there aren't any Dogecoin developers. That was a complete joke, but the market, it went over its head.
Yeah, I think that speaks to the fickle nature of the retail market, CJ, and also the value of Elon's Twitter account. Like, this dude can move the market with single tweets. And I think his tweet last night, CJ, one that he put out right before that one you mentioned, kind of speaks to that disconnect between Elon's beliefs in crypto and also like the sort of ethos that Tesla has to serve as a company. He tweeted this last night: to be clear, I strongly believe in crypto, but it can't drive a massive increase in fossil fuel use, especially coal. So, this doesn't surprise me. I think Elon still believes in crypto, still believes in the potential of its disruptive nature going forward as a financial instrument. But, the whole idea of Tesla is creating these electronic cars, and they're trying to get, government subsidies for having very low carbon emissions. So it makes sense that they're sort of distancing themselves from Bitcoin, even though that narrative of not being eco-friendly is kind of one that's been debunked in the past. It just doesn't make sense for Tesla to, peg its value so heavily to the value of Bitcoin. So, really interesting 24 hours, CJ. And it was crazy to see Dogecoin pump on the back of that tweet.
And by the way, folks, in case you haven't delved into it as deeply as CJ, Monty, and I, when Elon said that, that was for sales of Teslas, whether it's the the Cybertruck, or whether it's a S or an X or a Model 3. He never said, and in fact, they have not sold beyond the 100 million that they did sell. They didn't say that they were getting rid of or dumping their Bitcoin. Again, it would be foolish for them to do it. Could they drive it down? If that's not the goal, but could they drive it down, Bitcoin that is, if they did that? Of course, but it's been a great trade for them. And now with it at the lower end of its recent bound, would this be a great time for them to dump out of it? I don't really get it, but certainly he never said he was selling Tesla's Bitcoin based on that observation that he made. Now, here's a quick one. I got this from Novogratz over at Galaxy Digital, guys. And we'll share it Monday because I didn't have time to get it up today. There's a full report at Galaxy Digital. And for everybody that's in the chat room with CJ and Monty, I'll put a link in the chat room now. And if you joined for $1 a month, $1 for your first month, you'd see it too. Otherwise, you'll see it on the show Monday. But Galaxy Digital did a nice piece on annual energy consumption. And they compared the banking system to gold to Bitcoin. And, spoiler alert, Bitcoin is much less energy consumption than the banking system or gold. And we'll be sharing that with you guys from Novogratz and the team over at Galaxy Digital, but just really sad. And in just raw terms, I'll tell you right now, the banking system uses about 2.3 times as much energy as Bitcoin. And keep in mind that Bitcoin, yes, it runs over the internet. That's what makes cryptocurrencies as a whole work. So you've got proof of work in the case of Bitcoin, and all those computers, we've talked ad nauseum about how they need to be cooled. It's not just a question of whether or not you run the computers themselves. They also need to be cooled to run at optimal speed. Ask CJ and Monty in the chat room. They can tell you all about it. Go to marketrebellion.com/try crypto to join for $1 for your first month. But gold industry usage of electricity, 2 times Bitcoin. And again, Jamie Dimon and the banking system, not hanging it all on Jamie. He's just one of the most recognized folks in there. 2.3 times as much energy as Bitcoin. So and by the way, sources like Pomp say that Bitcoin mining is as much as 50 to 60% green energy already that they're using for mining. Why would that be? Well, because solar's free. I mean, once you've got the panels and so forth, it's virtually free. Same thing with wind, same thing with hydro. And an awful lot of people have availed themselves of those rather than paying 5 cents, 6 cents per kilowatt hour and so forth for electricity from a traditional carbon-based generation. But we'll have all that for you Monday. I just thought there was a lot of good stuff out there, guys. Maddie, a friend of mine that sends me stuff about this all the time, was nice enough to, fill my inbox with this. He called it, what does he say? The hornet's nest has been officially kicked, as the richest man in the world stunned social media last night with the announcement that Tesla would no longer accept Bitcoin, yada, yada, yada. And he goes on to FUD if you're not familiar with some of those, that's fear, uncertainty and doubt, FUD, not to be confused with FOMO, fear of missing out. But all of those sort of quick little acronyms end up being part of the ecosystem when you're talking about cryptocurrencies. But yeah, there was not a lot of love for our friend Elon Musk in the last 24 hours. In fact, I don't know, can you show him that video at all?
Yes, yes.
All right. This is one that Dave Portnoy and his crew over at Barstool Sports put up. And I just thought this was had to point yesterday because a lot of creativity over there at Barstool. And to see Elon, his face, photoshopped onto a wrestler, and when Dave Portnoy, of course, comes running in and, himself instead of the belt. It was just classic. By the way, Jack Dorsey also coming out with a report about how Bitcoin mining incentivizes renewable energy, and even Elon agreed with that. So I don't know if he was just having like an out-of-body experience, guys. Microdosing something, who knows? But again, to CJ's point, the board is probably a little worried about the mixed messages that are going out from Mr. Musk.
Yeah, very true. That's how I felt last night. I felt like Dave Portnoy in that video when I was buying the dip. It was an exciting night last night. So I wanted to ask you guys, did you guys get any dip buying in last night? Because I actually did get a little bit in myself.
I bought Ethereum, Bitcoin, and Cardano last night. And Ethereum is up $300, I think, from where I bought it. Delighted about that. Bitcoin, I'm up a little. I still think we might test down to your level. I think you're looking for 47, Monty. That's where I'd like to buy, another chunk. But with it here at 50,700, I'm just kind of meh. How about you?
Yeah, John, that's a great way to put it. It's kind of meh right now at this price. But, there's been a lot of talk. A lot of people have asked me, do you think Bitcoin's going to go any lower? Do you think it's going to remain in this range? And I do really like the potential of 47K acting as that new bottom for a few reasons. One, when we did our webinar with AJ Monty, he pointed out the prevalence of this channel between these two levels right here, 47K and 61K. This TD sequential support is very strong. And we also saw a large level of whale accumulation here from whale maps. So that puts, a good amount of crypto at this level into cold storage. There's not a lot of sell pressure at around this level because whales tend to put their crypto into cold storage at this level. Also, if you take a step back and you look at the 150 period moving average, which tends to be a good indication of where we find support on long dips, that exactly is touching 47K this morning. So there's good reason to believe that this channel is going to hold up. Also, the fact that, we're getting a little bit of positive price action today. I think that's a good indication that this was the bottom. We won't go any lower than 47K in the interim, barring some, drastic negative news. And even if we do get some negative news, I think we're very news exhausted right now. This news from Elon really rocked the market. We actually followed up with more news from Binance that they were being pursued by US lawmakers to lay down some sanctions for money laundering and violating KYC protocol. And the market didn't really move because it was already really exhausted from this news from Elon. And I think, I think the fact that we're at the bottom of this channel and we got bad news just kind of reaffirms the fact that this is, in fact, a very strong bottom. And I don't really think that we're going to go much lower in the interim. So that's what I'm seeing for Bitcoin. But, if this level is broken and we close below it, then all bets are off, and there isn't really too much support until 42K. So I'll be watching this level closely, and I too would buy if it touched this level again, John.
How about Ethereum? Any level there? I mean, is it all the way down at 3,500, or would you do like I did and step in at 37, 38?
Yeah, John, that's a great question. I talked yesterday about a similar channel that I'm noticing forming in ETH that I think could provide a great opportunity to kind of swing trade in the next couple of weeks, because, I just highlighted that channel in Bitcoin between 61 and 47K. And one thing I always harp on is the cyclical nature of crypto and how, there's a hierarchy of projects. And when Bitcoin pumps, that capital tends to eventually flow into ETH, which tends to flow into altcoins, and vice versa. There's a relationship in the space. The capital doesn't just get pulled out and parked into USD. People move their capital around to catch these moves in the market. And, ETH has been performing tremendously well while Bitcoin has been in that channel that I've talked about. So now there's the potential with this move here of ETH entering a sideways channel for the time being. We have a pretty steep range here where we topped at 4,400 and then where we bottomed last night at 3,500. These are similarly critical levels for ETH as Bitcoin. 3,500. Look at how strong this was as resistance on the way up. AJ Monty talks about role reversals a lot and how things that acted formerly as resistance can flip to be strong support. And that's exactly what I think we're seeing here at 3,500 for ETH. So this is a wide range. And I think because of its breadth of range, there's actually a pretty good opportunity to trade in here. I expect us to go back up and retest this level. We're already back above 4K. So it's not a stretch to think that, we can run back up to 44K, being that there isn't much resistance. So just watch these levels. If we're heading towards the upper bound, consider taking profits. And if we're heading towards the lower bound, consider adding to your position. It's a pretty simple way to play this, and I think it could be profitable going forward.
Very cool. Well, who wants to kick off Doge of the Day today, my friends?
I'll go first if there are no takers.
Go for it, DJ. Go for it.
So my initial pick was ADA Cardano, but I stole that from Monty because we were both going to have that one. So I decided, my friend, you should take that one for today.
Yeah, no, CJ's a great friend because he didn't steal it from me. He messaged me. He's like, this is my Doge of the day, but I have a backup in case this was your Doge as well. And it turns out it was my Doge. So we went with CJ's backup pick today.
I mean, ADA is one of the only things that's still consistently going up to new all-time highs, and people continue to pump it. So I really had my eyes on it ever since last night for those reasons. But mine is going to be Nano, ticker symbol Nano, Nano. Relative trading volume on this one is up over 100%. It's up 216% specifically. And so I really like it for that reason. It's also been one of those cryptocurrencies that's been touted as being energy efficient ever since kind of day one. Whatever merit you want to take with that, you can. But the market is kind of reacting to those type of cryptocurrencies after Mr. Musk's comments. So Nano is going to be my pick, and I'm going to be watching that one for today.
Yes, so you guys know my Doge, like CJ just said, it's Cardano, ADA. And, beyond what CJ said about the fundamental prospects of Cardano, I also love what we're seeing technically here. We really don't have much resistance beyond the $2 point. And this bullish engulfing candle on this incredibly strong volume, for me, is a great indication that we could possibly break through this $2 level and climb into uncharted waters up here. And like CJ said, with Elon laying down that tweet about Bitcoin and all these concerns about the environmental friendliness of Bitcoin and cryptocurrency in general, people are starting to explore alternatives. And this is what Cardano's been waiting for, right? This year is their year to shine. They're finding some utility, making great partnerships, doing big things in Africa. And, now there is some market share to be taken away from these big dogs because of the concerns raised by Elon. So I think a lot of the retail speculation is going to pour into Cardano. And, as a result, I think this thing can really climb to new highs. So watch for a breakout above the $2 level. This is really just psychological resistance. And a lot of people are taking profits because it made this run in a matter of 2 weeks. So if you bought this 2 weeks ago, you could have bought it at $1. So it's not surprising that people are taking profits around this level. But once those profit takers get shaken out, I really think this thing is ready to run. So Cardano is my Doge of the day today.
Well, I'll throw one out for you guys, Solana. I have traded this one in the past. It has seen a pretty significant pump. I mean, for instance, today's the 14th, of course. On the 12th, it was averaging about, let me see, where was that? $520 million per 24-hour period. It got up over 1.4 billion into the early morning. And I think it goes back from basically just shy of 43 towards that 48 where it was just, you know, a day ago. So for a $6 trade, I'll take it. If it ends up moving down a buck, I'll dump it. But I'm basically going to play that range, you know, looking for it to push back up towards 48. And if I'm wrong, I'll dump out of it at 42. That's so SOL is the symbol, guys.
Very nice. Seems like there's a lot of opportunities to sort of play that range today, John. So we'll see what the community members decide to trade. If you guys want to hang out with CJ and I, you can try our community for just $1 for the first month. It's you can try it right here, myherblion.com/try crypto. Come hang out with us. Tell us what you're trading today, because there are plenty of opportunities beyond the ones we just talked about. But yeah, we're there 24/7. Should be an exciting weekend for crypto. The crypto markets don't sleep. We have a pro charting service, which are the charts you saw here today. We have a 24/7 community of traders all around the world. We publish trade insights. We do weekly webinars. So come hang out. It's a lot of fun, and we'd love to have you. And as always, thank you to Voyager for sponsoring this show. You can head over there and sign up. And if you use the code REBEL25, you'll get $25 in free crypto just for signing up. So go check them out. They give you some awesome interest rates on your assets, up to 10%. So thank you to Voyager. And
thank you, Voyager. And thank all of you guys. Have a great weekend. We'll see you back here Monday. Or we'll see you in the crypto room if you subscribe for $1. Have
we'll
a nice
be there.
weekend.
Thanks, guys.